Today I'm going to be reacting to AI content on LinkedIn. People who are against AI. So let's see what they have to say. The first post that we have today is by Gavin Gallard in New Zealand. He's a client lead for Spark. Spark is a telecommunication service that they have in New Zealand. And this post has a lot of reaction. It has over 19,000 reaction, over 3,000 comments, and over 1,500 reposts as of today. This is what he says. The post includes a picture of what looks like a receipt. So he says, tonight I used ChatGPT to generate a restaurant receipt, complete with a business name, street address, date, GST number, and itemized charges. It took seconds. No Photoshop, no design skills, just a simple request. I even asked GPT to make it look a little crumpled for realism. Okay, first thing that I have to say about this first paragraph, I find it really hard to believe that the first part is not AI generated, or at least some part of it. People who use long dashes are shady. That's what I have to say about it. Where is the long dash on your keyboard? Where is it? You just have the regular dash and the underscore. Where is the long dash? Why do people use long dashes? Why don't you use a comma or a regular dash or a quote, something else? Why do you use a long dash? I started to see an incredible increase in the use of long dashes because that's what ChatGPT outputs when it's generating text. It overuses it. That's one big red flag of AI generated text. He says that he generated a restaurant receipt with, the ChatGPT 4o, the new image generator from OpenAI. No Photoshop, no design skill, just a simple request. Okay, we can take a look at it. You can clearly see it's AI. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can totally see this is AI. The paper, it's good. The paper texture is totally fine, but the ink on the supposed receipt, it's not realistic. It's honestly not realistic. The paper is fine, the texture is fine, but it's just AI still has a way on how it looks, so it's not realistic. So he says, now imagine I submit this with my monthly expenses. Many businesses' automated expense management systems will likely accept this and reimburse me for this fake dinner. What do you mean fake dinner? People do fake dinners all the time. They go out to drink with their friends and call it a business meeting. There's no need for you to fake a restaurant receipt when you can actually go to a restaurant and have dinner, get some drinks with your buddies and say it was a business meeting. That's what people do. What do you mean? You don't need to fake a receipt. If you're just looking to get reimbursed without actually spending the money, then that's a different idea, I'd say. But still, you can still fake a receipt or just get it from the trash. I don't get it. But let's continue. This highlights an unsettling reality. AI tools are making fraud easier than ever. Fake receipts, invoices, contracts, or even deep fake videos can be created effortlessly. Well, deep fakes are like a completely different thing. I understand how they can be used for fraud, like when they're cloning someone's voice, that has been used like that, and I totally get that, but that's a completely different subject when you're talking about fake receipts, or invoices, contracts, or even, that's totally different. People have been doing this without AI for a long time, and if anything, AI will just make it look more suspicious because it's obviously lacking. No offense to ChatGPT 4o, but obviously you cannot create decent forgeries with ChatGPT 4o. You can tell this is not a real receipt. If I were to look at this picture, I would say this is like an advertisement. Like I could see this at a bus stop or something like that, and it would be like some sort of creative ad because you can immediately tell this is not real. As far as like he's saying like, oh, it's like automated systems will just go through it and think it's real. Then why does it matter? You can just submit anything that's fake. You can just, if no person is actually like looking at it, get a receipt from the trash. That's what I said initially. That's just insane. It's got nothing to do with AI and everything to do with integrity, I'd say. And people with no integrity would always exist and find ways to do it. If your argument is like how easy it is to do this now, I think they run into more risk if they try to do this. So I think they'll go the long way. The long way is the right way, right? Traditional fraud detection systems such as manual verification, paper trails, and basic pattern recognition are no longer enough. It actually looks like it's the opposite. It looks like someone who has two eyes can immediately tell this is not a real receipt. So maybe it is enough. He continues to say, business and regulatory bodies must redesign their security frameworks to account for AI-assisted deception. Again, maybe getting some people in. If you get AI to do this for you, they'll think it's real. I grant you that. And he suggests, like, again, these bullet points that are just like these blue diamonds. This is the structure of what ChatGPT does when you ask it for some sort of text or argument. So something that's summarized into bullet points and then a really short conclusion, and then you end up with a call to action that is a question. That is AI coded 100%. So he mentions enhanced digital forensics, blockchain for verification. How did he come up with blockchain verification? Obviously, that's something that blockchain is trying to help and solve this issue. But what does blockchain have to do with anything that he just listed? It's obviously a solution or an answer that AI prompted as a feasible answer to this kind of problems. And then he concludes saying, as AI continues to evolve, so must our security measures. The question isn't whether fraud methods will change, long dash, it's how quickly businesses will adapt. How is your organization preparing for the new AI generation? Well, I don't know what to tell you. This is obviously AI, and people with two eyes are able to see it. Maybe because this guy is on the older end of the job market, but anyone with two eyes can see this is AI. Someone commented and said, wouldn't this fraud be captured at the end of the month accounts and bank statement reconciliations? It would if it was a company card, but not if the company was reimbursing you for spending on your own card or cash. So the solution would be to issue a company card, right? Why talk about AI? Like, this is just engagement farming by people who hate AI and use AI at the same time. So don't pay attention to this type of bait post. Let's go to the second one. I read this past week, and I don't even know if I read the whole thing because I was very upset by it. This is just 4 days old. This comes from James, who is based out of LA, and he works at his own company as a creative director. Let's see what he has to say about AI. One of the biggest mistakes the movie industry made in recent years was revealing all its behind-the-scenes magic through DVD extras, long dash, especially in the VFX space. How is it a mistake? That's kind of what sells DVDs. That's the only reason people buy DVDs or Blu-rays. That's the only reason. He goes to say, it was like magicians giving away their secrets. What was once an art form cloaked in mystery suddenly became something fans could try at home with the right tools. The sense of wonder, long dash, the unreachable magic that made the film so special began to fade. This doesn't happen. What do you mean? Like, people saw that you were using green screens at a Marvel movie and then decided to get a green screen for their background while they're streaming on Twitch? What type of nonsense is this? Like, so he's saying like, oh, people found out we were using green screens in Hollywood and then decided to get green screens at their house and get like a funny background on their Zoom meetings. And I wonder what Zach King thinks of this. If you know Zach King, he comes from Vine. He's great VFX magician or digital magicians, as he describes himself. He's really cool, and he shows you how, through behind the scenes content, how he makes this incredible effects, optical illusions using VFX. And it's really fun, and it's really gotten people into the industry to find out more about how this type of content is created. And it's very interesting. That's what people do when they go on to behind the scenes and they see Tom Cruise hanging off of a plane. They go like, oh my God, that takes some guts. Like, even if you don't do it yourself as an actor, the people who are the stunt doubles, they're, kudos, like, great work. We should appreciate it more. And they are people who buy these DVDs obviously get to see like, oh, nothing's real in a Marvel movie. So the people working overtime doing the VFX, they're the heroes of the movies. No one thinks like there's nothing special about this movie because now I know how it's made. I don't know, man. You know how pizza's made. Do you enjoy it any less? Are you gonna make your own pizza now that you know how it's done? And even if you do, is it that good? And if it is, are you gonna stop buying pizza? Just don't say nonsense like this. But anyway, he goes on to say, now I'm seeing a similar shift happening through AI. Instead of painstaking effort, craft, and iteration, we are teaching a generation that a few type prompts can replace years of learning, that a few keystrokes are enough to create something good enough. The result? A diminishing sense of awe. The one special process of creating something from scratch, of facing creative struggle and breakthrough, is being overshadowed by convenience. We often hear today's generation struggles with apathy and a lack of curiosity. I think one reason for that is this growing idea that creative mastery isn't something to aspire to, it's just a style to imitate with the right tool. I still believe the creative drive that lives in all of us. True creators will always find a way to express something personal and powerful, but danger lies in how generative content is being positioned and promoted. It's reshaping expectation and lowering standards. We risk devaluating art. And he posted a picture of McDonald's Korea that used the Ghibli style image generation from ChatGPT 4o to create some pictures of people eating a Big Mac or Happy Meal at McDonald's. And it's got a lot of angry reactions. So he is posting this image of McDonald's, a transnational company, and at the same time he's also saying that regular people like you and me are at fault of using these tools because we are devaluating art. So you're just as guilty if you use AI to generate an image of you and your puppy and then use it as a profile picture on Instagram or post it on your story. You're just equally at fault of devaluating art as McDonald's using it for an advertisement online. You're equally at fault. You know, XQC actually said something that I agree with a lot this week. XQC said regarding AI, I don't care. I consume the end product. I don't consume the process. And I agree with him. So who cares? You consume the product. You don't care how it's made. If you really care about how your product is made, you wouldn't have an iPhone if you know where the battery comes from. People don't care about the process of how anything is made. People consume the product. They don't consume the process. It's not to say that whatever is behind it is necessarily something that's ethical or positive, but consumers care about the end product. They don't care about how long it took to make, who's making it, and under what circumstances it was made, and what are the repercussions of it. Let's be real. If you're talking about these AI generated images that people will use to create a birthday invitation that they're gonna put together on Canva and they're gonna send it on iMessage or WhatsApp to their friends, and they're gonna invite like 10 or 12 people to like a party or whatever, do you want them to hire an artist to do that for them and, you know, spend like $1,000 to commission some piece of artwork for that when you can do it with AI? And if you're not saying that, then what are you saying? You're saying like, well, if you can afford a real artist, then just don't do it. Like, what are you saying? The implications of this argument are just insane. Like, so people who cannot afford to commission a piece of artwork, they just shouldn't have access to any of this? Is that what you're saying? And how are you comparing them with McDonald's? And again, this doesn't make any sense because he's comparing it with people knowing how VFX work. Like, there's no magic. Okay, yeah, okay, we found out how to make it. It's not the same thing. It doesn't even have any point of comparison. So I don't really understand what this guy is about. But like I said, it made me so upset when I first read it. I didn't even read the whole thing. There's the first comment is actually him saying, reading through some of his replies, I'm starting to think we need a group discount on reading comprehension classes. So really, dude? Really? Quick follow-up on this thread. He's also the second comment. I've been blown away by the depth of responses from educators and filmmakers to artists. It's clear the conversation hit a nerve. Not just about AI, but how culture values creativity itself. Yeah, apparently you got destroyed. As other mentions, I disagree about the behind the scenes content. Yeah, what does that have to do with anything? It seems like he wrote the first part and then let AI do the rest. Bad optics. Bad optics for this guy. So this is what a lot of people who don't agree with how AI is affecting the way we do things, the way we communicate, the way art is created, think about ChatGPT 4o and AI in general. But what do you think? Do you think this is helping anyone? Do you think these are just tools that we need to use appropriately? Do you think that it's bad and that we should stop at this moment? Or how should we regulate the use of AI? And how do you enforce these regulations? Well, let me know in the comments, and also let me know if you'd like me to react to some more content like this. I thought it was going to be fun and I saved it, and this is real content from this week, and this is what actually people think right now. So if you want me to do this again, more than happy to do that. Thank you for watching.